What's up, LA Live gang? This is your boy AC, and welcome back to another edition of LA Sports Live. Now, as you guys come into the video, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button. That's right, hit that like button. It really helps the channel, and I really appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel, if you just found me, go ahead and subscribe. And while you're at it, make sure you hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every day when we drop new videos here on YouTube. Now, you guys see the thumbnail, you see the title. We had two, or at least I had two earlier editions before I went into work. Um, we saw the situation with who did we see first? We got the word about Chris Paul entering COVID protocols. Now, an update on that is that Chris Paul actually had a positive test. Now, regardless if he's vaccinated or not, he definitely has to enter the COVID protocols and isolation and all that kind of stuff. But the rules are different if you've been vaccinated, versus if you haven't. If you have been vaccinated and you still get a positive test, the rules are a little bit relaxed. I mean, he's going to be gone for, I believe, at least 7 days if he has been vaccinated, but yet still gives a positive test. But if he hasn't been vaccinated, he's gone for at least 2 weeks from the Phoenix Suns. And also, what you guys got to remember is, the Phoenix Suns have been together. They've been together practicing the last 2 days. So the Suns not only have to worry about Chris Paul, they have to worry about some of their other players, coaches, staffs, or whatever, what have you, who may possibly have been exposed to Chris and who may also possibly have a positive test. So, that's bad news for the Phoenix Suns. I think they'll recover and go ahead and put on a good showing, but I don't see them advancing to the finals without Chris Paul. I just, well, let's put it like this. Let's just finish the story before we get to making predictions and stuff. So that was the first big news that came out this morning. And then the second big news is what came out about Kawhi Leonard. Now, like I said in my story earlier, Kawhi Leonard towards the end of that game, a Clippers victory, he bumped knees with Joe Ingles. And I know you guys remember when they showed the replays. Kawhi was definitely in pain, definitely pain in his knee. He was asked about it after the game, and after the game, he stated he was cool, no problems with the knee. But so time has transpired since then, and first it was announced Kawhi had knee soreness and was possibly going to miss Game 5, Clippers versus Utah Jazz. But now we've got further explanations, and the Clippers have announced that they haven't made it official, but they're saying they fear he may have a serious knee injury, a possible tear in his ACL. Okay, so, and even if the Clippers were to win this series in advance, I don't see Kawhi as the type of player who is just going to run out there at whatever the cost. I'm not questioning his manhood, his will to win and all that kind of stuff. But, Kawhi, he still has a lot more to play for. And I don't think he's going to risk the rest of his career just for this year. So if it comes out that Kawhi has a serious injury, I'm pretty sure he'll shut it down. He won't try to be a hero. He'll shut it down, get better, and come back for next season. The good thing about it is for the Suns, they know they will get Chris Paul back at some point. And like I said earlier, with how the NBA has, they're milking the hell out of these playoff series. And still, quite possibly, the the Clipper Utah series is going to go at the very least 6 games, very least 6 games. So, man, that's still going to be tough. I mean, because if Chris Paul, if he stays up, man, that's bad news for the Suns. Just bad news from the Suns. Period. I'm not a big fan of Chris Paul personally. For a lot of reasons, but he's one of the few difference makers in the league, and on some levels, you like to see the guy have a certain level of success, but whatever, man, whatever. But like I said, bad news for the Suns, bad news for the Clippers. For the Clippers, this kind of introduces another dynamic with the Clippers, okay? Because they still have, um, pandemic P, Paul George. So, um, with this recent development, this leaves the door wide open for Paul George. I mean, they still got other players. Still got Nick Batum. They still got Marcus Morris. They still got old Nappy Head. Um, they still got Reggie Jackson. They still got Boogie Cousins. Um, you know, they still got Luke Kennard. So even without Kawhi, the Clippers still have plenty of weapons. I mean, the team shot 40% the whole year from threes. So anytime you have a team, not just Kawhi, but anytime you have a team that still shoots 30% from threes for a whole year, they're never they're never out of a ball game. And let's talk about the Eastern Conference real quick. Um, we saw with Joel Embiid. We knew he had a problem with his knee, a tear in his knee, and we saw that the second half of the game of his performance, he was trash, and he was quoted after the game saying he had no lift, and I think he missed 10 straight shots at the end at the second half of that game. So uh, his health is most certainly in question, and who else? Hawks. They're already missing one player who's out indefinitely for the playoffs. Then you switch over to the other series, the Bucks. They lost DiVincenzo before this series even started. He's out for the rest of the playoffs. So the Bucks are missing a starter. Nobody mentions that, but the Bucks are actually missing a starter. And then of course we saw Kyrie go down a couple of games ago with his ankle injury. So that forced James Harden to come back, and we saw how terrible he played the first half in their game, and he really shouldn't have been out there. In my opinion, he ended up making a tiny bit of difference, mostly as a decoy last night for the Nets. But it might just come out. It might just come down to the way it's looking. The way it's going to come down. Okay, I'll put it like this to sum it all up. This NBA playoffs is still, in some respects, wide open. You still have you still have Paul George with the Clippers playing. You still have Devin Booker with the Phoenix Suns playing. You still have a nicked up Donovan Mitchell playing for the Utah Jazz. You still have a fairly decent team in Philly, even without Embiid. And you still have the former MVP Giannis still playing on his team. And then you still have KD still playing for the Nets. So what it ultimately might come down to is who can stay healthy, the most healthy, of course, for the rest of this playoff run. And then I kind of think at this point, you just have to bet on the team who has the best player that's left standing, right? That's the way. That's how I knew Kawhi was going to bring the Toronto Raptors out of the East a few years ago, because he was simply the best player still playing in the playoffs. He was better than Giannis, and that was pretty much left in the boys in Philly. But anyway, that was pretty much that was left in the Eastern Conference 2 years ago. And now, if we look at the landscape now, of the players left still playing, KD is obviously still the best player left. So I don't know. If I were to bet, But I'm not going to bet. But if I were to bet, I would probably have to bet on the Nets because KD is by far the best player left in the series. I don't think we'll see Kyrie back anytime soon. I don't think we'll see Kawhi back anytime soon. And that's just really unfortunate. But injuries are part of the game. It is what it is. Whoever and just came in. Mike Conley is still going to remain to still be out for the Utah Jazz. So it's going to be a one man show again with Donovan Mitchell. But um, like I said, man, in essence, it's still wide open. Any team can still win it because we see Chris Paul went down with COVID, but hey, it's not over with yet. Somebody else on another team could get it. Another couple players. Another couple players on the Phoenix Suns still could get it. There could be a widespread outbreak. You just never know. And it's just unfortunate with all the injuries, and we're still dealing with COVID. It's just the way it is. But one thing I will not say, we'll see what other people say. But one thing I will not say is whoever wins it this year, they deserve it. They win it. Some people may, depend on who wins it, they may try to diminish the championship by saying, they didn't beat anybody because everybody's hurt, but like they trying to do to the Lakers or last year's. But the bottom line is, you win it, you win it. You can only play and beat the people in front of you. So we'll see how these playoffs end up going. We'll see how the games go tonight. Well, if we get some more updates on these injuries and whatnot, let me just check one more last time. Anything else popping off before we get up out of here? Nope, nothing else going on. So we'll just wait and see what happens. Should be some interesting games this evening and tomorrow. And any more significant news pop up, you guys know I'll come back with an update. Other than that, I'm out of here. This is your boy AC LA Sports Live. Like, comment, share, subscribe. It really helps the channel. I really appreciate it. And I will wrap with y'all later. Somebody do me a favor and hit that outro.